Yeah, Sunday, Hey, I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. Ay, you know I go hard until they finish me. Ay, I wake up and grind, they try to limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we run high intensity. That's right. I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. Ay, you know I go hard until they finish me. Ay, I wake up and grind, they try to limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we run high intensity. Sundays with Justin, Mondays we hustling, Tuesdays still training, by Wednesday it's draining, shot wet like it's raining. It's not though, try to knock me off my pivot, I'm straight to the block though. I can't do no pump fake, still watch out for the block though. I'm not your average player, I'm all-star status. Give all y'all answers, not no ball hog bastard. Jump shot looks synthetic, but it's all natural. Body full of ice like I got back from
What's up, y'all? It's Coach Justin. We're here again at the Sit Down Podcast. We have a very, very special guest, my guy, Juwan. How's it going, bro?
I'm living, man. I can't complain. I'm alive and well.
Yeah, that's what matters, man. I appreciate you coming down. It's been a long time coming, man. I was a guest on your podcast a while back, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of, been in contact ever since. And so busy, man. And you thought I forgot about you, but I didn't, man. I swear I have like a list of people that I've been trying to get on here. But so what's up with you, man? How's everything? I like to do a mental check-in with my guests now, just because the way of the world, everything's so fucked off. So how is, Juwan, as far as mentally right now with the world and just everything?
Yeah, mentally, man, there's times where I'm overwhelmed and tired, but then I just like look at the overall picture and it's like it motivates me a little bit more because I know that it's just temporary.
That's dope. No, that makes sense, bro. Yeah, that's real shit, bro. You got to make sure you don't get too overwhelmed, especially I know you got a lot of stuff going on that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, man, take us back to young Juwan, where you were born and raised, how it was for you growing up, what you were into early and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Hayward, but I moved around the Bay a lot, different places as we talked about. Mm-hmm. Moved from Hayward to Antioch, went to school out that way, and then I say I'm from Berkeley because that's where I spent most of my childhood. So grew up in Berkeley, and then just kind of dipped off to Colorado, and then came back.
Wait, as a youngin'?
In college.
In college, gotcha.
So yeah, stayed from in Berkeley from like 6th grade up to college.
So how are you, like, how was it growing up for you in the household? Are you only child, like live with your parents?
For a moment, for the first me and my brother are 6 years apart. Mm. So for the first 6 years, I was the only child.
So you're the oldest?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. You the middle child,
yep,
right?
I'm the middle. I'm the middle of my mom, and then for my dad, I'm the youngest.
Okay, yeah. Yep. So I guess I got other brothers and sisters, but I'm the oldest out of all of them. But my younger brother, that we have the same mom, he's 6 years apart, and so yeah, we grew up. I grew up kind of like the man of the household. My pops was in and out, like we talked about before, right. But he was mainly there for basketball. So. Yeah.
So talk about Pops being in and out. How was you guys' relationship?
Yeah. So
if you want to divulge.
Nah. Yeah. Facts. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
So like we was he was there most of my young childhood, and then kind of just started disappearing as I got older. I'd say probably around high school is when I started to see him a little bit gone a lot more. Before then, he would always. I actually lived with him for a year and a half. I had moved in with him and my stepmom at the time, which was in Antioch, and I had moved down there, and then all of a sudden they broke up, and he just dipped out and left me
with the stepmom.
What? Yeah, crazy, bro, crazy. So, but it's cool. I love my stepmom. She was an amazing stepmom, like. Till this day, dope. Like amazing. They had a kid, and so that had brought like another sibling into my life. We're more than 6 years apart, and so he had like just dipped out. Would come and like every like once a month on the weekend would just come and say what's up, and so they had a very.
At this moment, are you like confused or? I'm saying like like young Juwan, like in the moment, are you thinking? How are you thinking?
Maybe not as confused because he did the same shit with my mom. So it was kind of like a repetitive, like, oh, okay, So I guess at that point, I'm still young, but I'm still like, this already happened.
Right.
And so, so I'm living out there with my stepmom for 2 years. Then I moved back in with my mom's when she got her stuff together. And then that's when I got to Berkeley.
That's what's up.
And so,
Hey, did you ever, and we can move on from Pops in a second, but did you ever ask him like what that was about? Did you guys ever have that talk?
nah, we never really had that talk. And I think, like, looking now as I'm a dad, you start to like think, like, damn, I wish I would have had that talk with my dad, or I wish that I could like sit down with my dad and have that talk. I still wish that like every day, and I know he's out there, like, but I just don't think he's mentally there to have the talk.
That's important.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm more mentally mature to sit and have that talk, and he won't. Like, like over the last couple of years, I've tried to rekindle a little bit, right? Because I know he's out there. He sees some of my friends, or he'll randomly show up at shows, and I show up at the shows, right? And so there was a point a couple years ago. I had a show when I got back from college, where
a show as in a performance.
Yeah, I had a music performance opening up for Devon Terrell in San Francisco.
That was dope. At
Brick and Mortar. And all of a sudden, I'm performing. I'm literally on stage performing, and my dad walks in. And I still perform or anything while I'm like, holy shit, because the song I was performing, will I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, the song I was performing was like low-key talking shit about him. And he walked in, and I just kept going. And then it's like, you felt like there's like more motivation from it. And then after, it took about like, it's awkward every time we're around each other. It took about like 15 minutes for him to actually walk up to me. Yeah. And he was just like, hey, what's up? And we're talking. And like at that moment, I knew like it's like a platonic relationship.
Really?
Yeah, it was really awkward. And my mom was there.
Wait, so did he come knowing you were performing there? Obviously.
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe because he does like stalk my social media and stuff. But that's a good. So when I asked him, why are you here? He said, oh, I'm supporting this artist over here. I'm like trying to manage him. And it was like some dude I never heard of.
Is Pops in the music too?
He tries to do a lot of bunch of stuff. So he was into basketball. He was like my coach for half my year. AAU teams, he was into music. He's trying to do event planning. And we've kind of had like awkward exchanges because I caught him using my brand Till Infinity, like promoting it on his Instagram and saying like, this is my brand. This is like, support it.
What?
Yeah, bro. Crazy mental stuff.
Wow, so,
bro. Yeah.
You know, and obviously this is no disrespect, or I don't know your pops, but just speaking generally.
Yeah.
You can use those type of things to mold the type of father you want to be.
Yeah,
because you know how not to be. You know what I mean? You know how it made you feel. Especially in hindsight, it's like, damn, my pops he would just leave me. Like you said it, like it's crazy. He left me with my stepmom. He just dipped. So like. Of course, you would never do something like that, but in that situation, it's like I can't make that type of move because of how it made me feel as a child. That's
yeah, and I tell my wife this all the time. I'm like, yo, whatever we got going on, just you have nothing to worry about. I would never leave these kids. Yeah. Like I would never just dip out and leave, Zakai and Valentina. Like whatever we got going on, if whatever. Don't worry about that.
That's dope.
I try and reiterate that all the time.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah. Because I feel like our generation, I said this on Twitter the other day, it's like as far as the fatherhood.
Yeah, you be active on Twitter, boy.
Yeah, I have to, man. It's all marketing.
No, but here's the thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Twitter is like, I recently took a break from Instagram off for a week, and I would just do Twitter and TikTok, and I didn't feel any anxiety from doing those things. Wow. But I felt a lot of anxiety from Instagram because I feel like everyone on Instagram posts photos to flex, right? And or pressure. Oh, they're doing this. They're traveling. I should be traveling. Right. Twitter is just like, nigga, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
it's
just like a news feed.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. And I'm the same way. I don't really fuck with Instagram like that. I'm hardly ever on it. I don't really take pictures.
Yeah.
So it's like that's one reason. Kind of something like along the lines you said. And Twitter is just like, Twitter is almost like the locker room talk a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can just talk shit. I can pop in and out when I feel like it. Because sometimes I'll go days without even opening my Twitter, but then I'll be on there for 3 hours straight. You feel me?
And the crazy thing is, before I even go to Google to like news, if I hear something like such and such died, I'll go to Twitter and be like, I need to read these comments. Like,
that's true. That's true. Twitter is definitely a media site at this point.
Yeah. You got TikTok?
I do. I don't run it though.
Bruh,
My social media
TikTok
manager
is the
runs it.
funniest thing. Like,
I don't really like social media, bro. I'm really an introvert. You know what I mean? And I don't really fuck with social media that heavy, but I need it for what I do.
Yeah.
So, but my social media manager runs my TikTok. I hardly ever open the app. I have it. And I had to hide it because my daughter used to love that app.
Facts.
So she would just like, and I'm talking about at barely 1 year old. Like she would cry if I wouldn't give her my phone to watch TikTok. Yeah.
Damn.
So I had to I hid it off my main page, and now it's not really that big of a deal.
How old is your daughter? Right?
She'll be 2 next month.
Man. So my daughter just turned 1 last month.
Oh wow.
And bro, girls are so much smarter than guys.
Yeah.
Like,
so you have a boy and a girl?
Boy and a girl.
Same here.
Boy is 3 years old.
Okay.
Just got his first little taper yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then my daughter's 1, but like she is like damn near on his level right
Yeah.
now. Like
My son is 8.
yeah.
And my daughter, she'll be 2, and it's just different, bro. Daughters are different.
Yeah.
It's like daughters, they do things just because they can, because they're a daughter. Are you and your daughter hella tight?
Yeah, facts. She knows that she like runs the house, and she knows it at 1, and you can see it because she'll like do stuff, and I'll like swat her hand away, and she'll be like, "Hold on,"
Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
Yeah, my son will like just get butthurt, and like so.
Yeah, that's kind of similar.
Yeah.
My daughter's a little diva though. She's a little she has the princess.
Oh yeah.
She has that princess thing. Like
Yeah, I feel
when
like
she
that's
gets in trouble, she'll try to like put her little puppy face on.
Yeah.
And, hug you. I'm sorry. Like all
My
of
wife
that.
thinks it's funny, and I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna be funny in 13 years.
Yeah, I don't laugh either.
Yeah.
You can't laugh because they'll keep doing it. I'm laughing, but I can't let her see me.
Yeah. Laugh.
It's like one of those things. Yeah.
That's funny. Man.
So I put on Twitter like our generation is killing this father shit as far as black men. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're completely against the whole stereotype. And of course there still are some out there, but all my friends, everybody that I follow, everybody are active fathers. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I said, we have our few in between, but for the most part, I think our generation is like kind of changing that stereotype. But let's get back into your story, man. So how early on did hoop become a thing for you?
Man, hoop's always been a thing, man. Like 3, 4 years
That young.
old. Yeah, it was probably when I started touching a basketball, little basketballs. When I started playing like actively into sports clubs was definitely at 5, 4.5 maybe. My dad had got me in it. My dad's a big basketball, fan, and that's kind of where we connected. And so if it wasn't for basketball, like I could ask him to buy me basketball shoes, but he wouldn't buy me food. No, he'll buy me like food when we're out, but he wouldn't like go buy my mom groceries. You feel me? That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Or buy diapers. Right. But shoes, good. So yeah, I say it was young, man. I just been into it ever since. AAU, running around, and then CYO. Remember CYO? Yep. So yeah, that's cool.
And then are you like good in it early on, or did it take you a while to kind of figure it out?
I was pretty. I mean, I feel weird talking about stuff like that, but I was pretty good.
I mean, looking back is easier in hindsight. It's not like you're saying it now. It's like, okay, when I was, because I was kind of like that too when I just was able to play off the bat.
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, yeah, I was definitely a top player. And you could ask my coaches, like I was a top player, but at the time, you think you the best, but it's just a little weird saying it. But yeah, for sure, I always played higher level, so. I was the best at my age group for sure, but when I'm sitting next to you feel me, like y'all way bigger than me.
Right.
So
all right, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how were you in school and stuff? Like, were you a good student as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. In school I was actually really good. Maybe not the smartest. I just knew what I needed to do to get by. And so and I'm not talking like cheat or anything.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But I was really good. A lot of the teachers respected me. I got I had a streak of like 4.0s in middle school. Yeah.
That's dope.
Streak of 4.0s, and then I think I even graduated with like, I can't remember, it was a 3.5 or a 3.9, but yeah, I was pretty good in school.
That's dope. So early on, like, what does Juwan want to be when he grows up? Like at a young kid, and as early as you can remember.
Oh man, this is yeah. All right, so I had seen this movie Double Take. I know I was in Hayward because I remember sitting in front of the TV. I was probably 8, maybe younger, but I was probably 8. Saw Double Take. Do you know what movie that is?
No.
It's a movie with Eddie Griffin, and it was like my first time seeing he was an FBI agent undercover.
Okay.
And there was another big actor in there too, but it was the most funny movie I had seen at that time. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't cartoons or anything.
Right.
And I was just like so struck by like him being undercover FBI agent, and I was like, I want to do that.
That's fine.
I want to be
That's
that.
fine.
Like, and I obviously like the first thing is like I want to be a basketball player. That's what I'm doing at that time. But it's like nah, like I want to be that. And so ever since then, I've always wanted to be undercover FBI, and then. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have you ever thought about joining the academy?
So, man, I got a long story about all of that.
We got time.
Yeah, we got time. We got all day. So I actually planned my whole life around it. Because, once you get to a certain point and I'm not growing past 5'9", you know that your dreams at the NBA are diminished, right? Unless you got the skill of Kiwi, right? But so I had to start thinking of like other stuff to do. And so I planned my life around that, and I went to school I tried to find a school that I could play basketball at and study like criminal justice.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of the schools that were interested in me in basketball did not have criminal justice. Right. And so I was like, all right, what the hell do I do? You feel me? So I started studying psychology. And then I was originally going to do Arabic, because a lot of people, I look anything really.
Wow.
So I was going to do Arabic and criminal justice. My school didn't have Arabic, so I chose Spanish because we live in California. It made sense.
So wait, hold on, bro. You can't just speed past that. So you wanted to take Arabic as your foreign language in high school?
Yeah, I don't know. And no, not in high school, in college.
In college.
But I had already, another reason I didn't choose it, I had already 7 years of experience in Spanish, because I had done Spanish in all of high school.
Got you.
And before that, so.
So you went to school for criminal justice initially.
No, yeah, but I couldn't find a school that was interested in me playing basketball. Got you. So I had to either choose a school I didn't like or choose a school I like and then change my major. So I did the school I like and played basketball, studied psychology, and then just kept going in Spanish.
So all the way up into college, you still wanted to be an FBI agent?
Yeah, up until after college.
Really?
I could get into that too, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that watch a lot of like the crime shows, like Criminal Minds and all that type of shit.
That was my favorite show.
Bro, same here.
That was literally my favorite show.
Same here, bro. That show is fire.
It's really good.
Yes, bro.
And it's like not, you would think it's like cheesy, but it's not as cheesy as like, what's the other one? Law and Order. Yeah. Like I really love the actors.
Criminal Minds feels real.
Yeah.
And then I'm one of those.
Shamar's from Oakland too, the black dude.
Is he?
Bald-head dude.
Shamar Moore?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's why I was like all in.
Maybe I did know that.
Yeah, he's from Oakland.
Oh, wow.
He actually might be from damn near Hayward too, but I think he's from Oakland.
Oh, wow. Maybe I did know that. But I feel like because I'm somebody who, I at least in my opinion, I read people well. Mm-hmm. That's why I love that show, because it's all profiling. Bro. So you're literally just you're taking note of people's behavior and.
So quick thing is, I actually, that's what I wanted to do was profiling. That's exactly, I wanted to do profiling, and I was very interested in forensic science. Like when I go to the scene.
See, I don't like blood, so I wouldn't want to do shit like that.
Well, I didn't want to be like the
scientist. I have a sensitive stomach.
But I don't know how I would react to that nowadays. Like I probably wouldn't react well, so I'm glad that didn't work out. But that's what I wanted to do. You feel me? So
that's dope though.
Yeah, man. So I was like, I studied that in college, and then you want me to get into kind of like the story of why. Basketball season is starting to come to an end. We're approaching senior year, and you're like, all right. I'm not going to do anything. I still had I'm going to try and go overseas just because I want to explore. So I'm reaching out and stuff, trying to find stuff. And I'm looking at the money. I'm like, bro, is that really worth it? It's like, come on, man. I know, because a lot of people go overseas to go to the NBA. I know I can't do that.
Right.
So I'm going to just go overseas because I just want to.
Right.
But like, I'm not finna starve to do this.
Right.
So I was like, all right, backup plan, right? And so I started applying to FBI, like Quantico.
Really?
Yeah, I started applying to Quantico. They had like some internships at the Quantico, and I had to. It was intense. It was intense, man. They do crazy backgrounds. They requested like I got a letter from my dean talking like good about me and stuff. Yeah, so I got a letter from my dean, hyping me up, sent it to the FBI, And I can't remember exactly what had happened. But there was a couple positions I had applied for, and I think they said that I like got pretty far, but then eventually I didn't do it. I don't remember why. I think it was because they wanted more experience or something. I don't remember.
So you had never been a cop or anything?
No. So they required that. And so then I was like, all right, cool. Now I know what I have to do to get there. So as I'm in school and season wrapped up, senior year, I'm applying to police officer jobs.
And name the college you went to again?
Colorado College.
So you're doing this out there?
Yep. So doing it, but basketball season had ended at that point.
Right.
And so, everyone's like applying for jobs and stuff and next stuff. First of all, you never really know how much time. I was talking to Lily about this 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. We were talking because as an athlete, when it ends, there's so much time on your hands. Mm-hmm. Like, college feels easy at that point.
It's almost overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I could nap 5 times a day. Like, what the fuck do y'all do, boy?
Right.
Like, if y'all not playing sports. Like,
right.
So, yeah, anyways. So I had hella time, and I was just applying to hella jobs. Boom, 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 boom. Got hella interviews, and then graduated, came back to Cali. And it takes a long time. Mm-hmm. So I came back and just worked construction until I was ready to go to the interviews. I applied to a lot of different places, man. I applied to Fremont, Oakland, SF, but those were backups just because their pay was really well, like really well. Now, I really wanted to go down SoCal. So the main ones was Long Beach. I really like Long Beach. You been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, dope.
I lived
like
in
Oakland.
LA.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Long Beach is really dope. That was my number one. San Diego was 2. And then I applied to like LA, I think.
Really? Yeah. Why SoCal?
Man, when you grow up out here, I don't know. For me, it was just like, it felt good to be away when I went to Colorado. Yeah. I learned so much. Mm-hmm. Like, I learned about wealth. Like, I wouldn't be doing the Misguided podcast without, I wouldn't be invested in real estate and all that stuff. And so I learned a lot, and I was like, I like this feeling. Let me go somewhere else and learn more.
Let's talk about the podcast a little bit and how that kind of came about. I do want to get back into this FBI story because I got some more questions, but you just brought it up. So with the podcast, what made you want to get into that? You kind of already touched on it. But.
Yeah, back in 2020 when the pandemic started, I had started the podcast like the first week of the pandemic with my business partner. Yeah, we were just sitting down and we were like, all right, we do this, we do that. Let's tell our journey, because it seems like no one is really telling their journey as it's happening.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm a millionaire now.
In hindsight.
Yeah, let me tell what happened 10 years ago. And we kind of wanted to be like, hey, shit, we just made a mistake yesterday that cost us like $1,000. Here's what we did. Here's what we learned and how you could fix it. And so we just started talking.
So it started off as 2 people on the podcast?
Yep. And then he's just a busy guy. He there would be weeks we were like, all right, I was like, man, I know you busy. So what's your day that you want to do? And he was like, Sunday mornings. And I was like, all right. And then it just became a point to where like I'd hit him up and be like, hey, where you at? We got the guests on here. And I started getting big guests, man. So I was like, yo, we can't be looking unprofessional. And then he's like, sorry, man, I got this business. So I just was like, all right, cool. Like, let me just do my own thing. Not like, yeah, we're still like best friends at my wedding and everything. Yeah, it's just like, all right, you focus on your stuff.
I get that, yeah.
Because I wanted to still do it. And so
people don't understand how much that goes into podcasting, man. They think it's easy, but it's really not.
It's anything. Like, we had tried to start like 3 businesses together, and it all just ended up like being me, because he's focused on his businesses, and I get it. And like his businesses are now like, millions of dollars. So
that's dope.
I get it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about what the Misguided podcast is about. Like what you guys. What you talk about. Obviously, I was a guest on there at one point. So yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the Misguided podcast kind of goes into the stories of entrepreneurs, business owners, and really dives into their stories and finds where they wish they could have done better. And so like, a business owner is going through day-to-day stuff, right? And they're making daily mistakes, right? And they might not realize it at that point. And so my job is to go in and kind of like find the mistakes, let the audience know, hey, this is what I think you should be doing. This is how you could correct it so you can avoid it and save you some money. And so, yeah, I try and like go in, and a lot of the people I talk to actually give them like advice and like free business consulting.
Really?
Like how you can expand your business. A lot of people like don't know stuff.
Bro, I was just talking about that last night with the rapper Ali Cocaine.
Bro, oh, she came in?
Yeah, she was here last night. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to get her. She cool. I'm about to do a feature with her. I got a song for her.
That's what's up.
Right now.
Yeah, but we were just talking about that last night, and we were talking about just the Bay Area music scene and you know just a bunch of different things. And she was talking about how much the artists don't understand the music business. Mm-hmm. And I told her like, man, we could take that a step further. There's people that I've bought merch from, you know, whether they have a clothing line. There's people that I've paid for services. And they don't even have an LLC set up. They don't have like a business bank account. They're doing everything through their, and I get it. They don't really know, but like I'm telling them, if you're just going to go to LLC, you can use the bank's money to fund your business. Yeah. You know what I mean? You go get you a line of credit or a loan or anything, and that way you're not using your profit. Yeah. To kind of, you'll never go broke on your business. And then before I let you go, and then getting your EIN number separates your business from you. So if it does fail, it doesn't fall on you. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and that's like basic business shit. And people don't know that. And it's like, bro, who knows where you could go if, you know, marketing and shit, even building a team. Like, there's so many things that goes into a successful business. And I just think people here just don't even know that. So it's great that you're doing that because the information is needed. Yeah. Especially in our communities, you know, like I said, like I didn't learn shit until I left. Right. And so like, I try and really to get into like, it's older people that listen to my music or to my podcast, but I try and really dive into the young group. But I did want to piggyback off what you say. The reason why people think like that and don't know a lot of stuff is because when you start a business, you got tunnel vision, right? And so it's like, all right, how can I grow this podcast? What do I need? And you only focus on that, but you forget, man. There's marketing. Yep. There's a LLC, right? There's taxes. Yep. All right. How can you write all this equipment? Exactly. Like those are the things I'm trying to teach because I learned them late. Yeah, I'm 28. I learned them late. Yeah. You feel me? So if I would have knew this at 18, oh my God. That's how I feel about podcasting, and that's why I wanted my own studios because it's like when I wanted to start my podcast, everybody I called didn't. This was like 2014, 2015 when I first wanted to start.
Damn, that's early, bro.
Nobody knew what podcasting was yet.
Nah, yeah.
And it was like I would call these studios, and it was like, no, we don't do that here. Like I'm calling just regular recording studios. Like, hey, I'll get a camera. Like, can I just use the recording equipment? Because I didn't know how to do none of that. Yeah. No, we don't do that here. And then I finally found somebody, in 2018, 2019 maybe? And that's when I started. But yeah, it was like, I want to be that resource that I didn't have when I started. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why I offer consulting. I offer, I help people build their podcast from nothing to, whether you never started nothing and you have an idea, but like I build all my podcasts like a business plan. Yeah. Literally I have a mission statement, a target, like I literally values everything for each podcast that I produce. It's like, it's built on a business structure because that's what it's going to be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's the key is a lot of people don't look at it as a business. Right. Like a lot of these young rappers just look at it as like, I mean, I get paid to rap. Like, no, man, like look at it as a business.
You're a brand.
You are a brand. Yeah. You're a walking brand.
And even the Twitter, like what you said about Twitter, I'm very selective of what I tweet, but I'm on Twitter for a reason. Yeah. I'm only on there I'll pop in and out because I don't go out as much anymore, so I'm not really out. And even when I do, I always think about, okay, you got to get back outside a little bit just because I'm trying to become, I'm trying to keep growing my platform. So the more I'm out there, the more I'm visible. Yeah. I can't just pop up, posting interviews because they're going to be looking like, damn, who the fuck is this dude? Yeah, but the more they see me out, the more I'm engaging on Twitter, the more people that I'm gaining organically. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just from my personality. Yeah. And that's ultimately what I want them to tune into the podcast about. Yes, it's about my guests, but I want them to be intrigued about the conversation I have with my guests, not just the guest. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I like that because a lot of people don't realize you really got to network. I mean, that quote, what is it? It's not what you know is who you know. That shit stands like strong. It's a fact. Because what I learned is that if you surround yourself by people that are doing what you do and kind of have the same values as you, then it's easier to grow. Yep. There's another quote I really like and I really stand by. It's if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yep. And so I am in the same boat where I'm like,
I think you said that when I was on your show.
Really?
Yep, I think so.
That's funny. I'm in the same boat as you though, like where it's like, damn, I don't step out no more because I got kids. But it's like, yo, like I need to actually like when people see your face, it's important because of visual memory, right? And so, like you say, you can't just flood the timeline.
Right.
Bro, support my brand. Like,
exactly.
buy my clothing. Like, you actually got to be in the streets and support them first.
Exactly.
I never like will go and ask for something from someone first. I'd be like, all right, like, how can I help you? Or like, what do you lacking at in information you need? So
that's a fact.
Yeah.
So let's jump back into your story a little bit let's jump backwards, back into the FBI thing. Do you still kind of want to do that?
Nah.
No more?
Nah.
You moved on.
I still be like, damn, what if?
Right.
And like, that would have been cool. But nah.
Could you see yourself being a police officer?
I could see myself being an FBI, not a police officer.
But you're willing to do that if you need to do.
Yeah, I was gonna do it. I think you needed maybe. I'm sure you needed more than a year, but I think I was gonna try and do it for a couple years and just get some good word, some experience, some ranks or whatever, and then try and apply for some stuff.
So what after the FBI thing went away? What now? Like, what is your main? I know the podcast, but what else as far as business related do you focus on? I know you mentioned some investing and stuff like that earlier.
Yeah, man. My kind of plan is I want to just grow into like. I want to have multiple businesses that produce me revenue streams, but my goal right now, at least my vision right now, is to build the podcast into like a small business center. So I've been researching the small business centers all around the world, what it takes to become one, and it's very hard. So I'm trying to find a way to, and I also don't want to be like audited by the government all the time, right? Like, I want to be a business center, but not tied to the government. Does that make sense? Because
is it doable?
That's what I'm trying to find out right now. So I literally just started researching this, but I want to have like a building, and I want to have a space for like business consulting. I want to have spaces for people to do podcasts, people to rap, people to come, like the place to go after school. If it's young crew, you got the business, like almost like a WeWork, but for a small business. Right. So I want to build the Misguided into that brand.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your basketball career in college. How successful do you feel like your career was as far as basketball? Because I know it was a passion for you early on, and I know it was important for you. So yeah, just talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
My career in college was not quite what I expected it to be. We had some inner workings as far as like coaching and stuff that needed to be worked out. And it's not just me saying that like over playing time or whatever. Like, no, like we actually stood up to our coach and was like, yeah, we want you gone.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
was that bad?
Yeah. But
what was the name of the school again?
Colorado College. Yeah. And so, I didn't really have like the greatest college playing time. So I look back and wish I would have done a little things differently and maybe gone about it differently. So.
And what year did you finish school?
2016.
Also what's that, 6 years?
Yeah. 6 years. Yeah, that's crazy.
Time is flying.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, wow.
Since the pandemic, I feel like it's so hard to keep track of time, bro.
Bro, I forget every. I can't believe we're about to be in 2023 already.
Crazy, bro.
Like that's coming up in 2 months.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you have any like? I always break, obviously into quarters. So we're in the fourth quarter right now. Are you like preparing for any like big time goals that you have for next year and stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to really expand the Misguided and really open up revenue streams for that. That way I can work towards getting a building. Now, I'm not just gonna go out there and just get a building and have a rent with no Misguided income, right? So I'm trying to really build the brand and get it out there. And yeah, man, I've been really interested in the books and writing them. So
really,
I wrote my book. Money Talks: The Beginner's Guide to Investing for Kids. It's a book.
I need to buy that, bro.
Yeah,
I'll need to buy that. Make sure you send me the link before we leave.
Yeah. I just did a discount too on Amazon. So
that's not why I want to.
Nah, no, for the people, man.
Right.
But yeah, so I wrote that book and then debuted as #1 on Amazon, which I was very proud of. I just got like so excited, man. That's like fire, knowing that people are like hitting me up, like, yo, my kid like reads this and
It's
like
dope,
it's
bro.
cool and they're learning stuff. Like that excites me. So I'm like, I got to do more.
I need to Lisa, who's coming here soon. I think she came in. But she's like my business partner. She's a publicist.
Oh.
Yeah, she has her own publishing company. And
shit.
she actually published a kid's book, her own kid's book as well. I think it's called The Girl. I don't want to miss
That'd be crazy
the
if I
title.
know what book it is.
It's yeah, I'll show you when we get done with this. But
Okay.
yeah, she so that's I think I've been meaning to connect y'all anyway. But she published a few books. She published her twin brother's book. He's in prison. She's published a few other books from people in prison.
Nice.
Some more people from out here. So she's been working.
Yeah.
So I gotta link y'all up, man.
Yeah, that's dope because I actually want to learn more about that because I want to add that to the Misguided. Like when people walk into the Misguided building, I want them to have access to everything. Loans, publishing, a space to do their business, and so I want to know everything.
No, that makes sense,
Yeah.
bro. So talk, what is the book about? Tell us a little bit about the book.
The one I already wrote or
Yeah,
the ones I'm working on?
The one you already wrote.
The one I already wrote goes into details about what is money. I think it's very important to teach your kids money at a young age. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to teach them everything, but just teach them what it is, right? And how to manage it and how it works within the system, the economy, right? And so it kind of goes into that, the history of money. And then it goes into what you should be doing, how to manage, how to save, and how to invest it. And it's 7+. It really stands out. There's some hard stuff in there to comprehend, so it really stands out to middle school. Some high schoolers read it, and I've even had adults reach out and
That's
say
dope.
I've learned something. So, like I said, it's good to introduce it to them young, and then if they don't understand, it's cool. At least they know what money is now.
Right.
Now they could get back to the math problems that are in there.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of inspired that idea to do that book?
Yeah, man. So I had interviewed. So I had the Misguided. I was thinking of ways like, all right, like how can I really like educate people? Like I don't want to just be one of those TikTok people who just do a podcast and say I'm doing this, but I'm not actually doing it behind the scenes.
Right.
I was like, all right, like what ways can I educate people? I was like, I rap a lot. I'm really good with words and storytelling. And so I was like, there's got to be a way I can put it down on paper and just have people read it. And I didn't want to do no course, man. Everyone was doing courses. I was like, I ain't doing a course.
Yeah.
I was like, and so I had interviewed this dude who taught me about notary and publishing books. And he was telling me that like he publishes books under like a white person's name. And they're like romantic fantasies. And he has like 6 books and they just give him monthly income.
Wait.
Yeah,
Like
crazy.
anonymously?
Anonymously. So the reason he did like a white person's name was because it would sell in the romantic comedy. So it's not even his name. He just publishes it anonymously and gets like monthly income from it.
Bro, that's so fucking crazy because I was just literally I'm taking this leadership course for nonprofits because I've started my own nonprofit.
I want to hear about that too after, but yeah.
For sure. And I was telling them that I'm thinking about because I love writing as well.
Yeah.
I've never did music, but I just love writing. I love words. But I was, I think I even talked to Lisa about this. I want to do something like, and I'll probably cut this out of the interview, but like I don't want to like maybe anonymously like just start a site of like blogging or just writing little excerpts of just like maybe perspectives on things or just something. But I want to do it. I don't want it to be under my name though.
Yeah.
So I've been
Why
thinking.
though? We don't want to voice your like opinion or something. It's gonna be like, is it gonna be controversial?
No, not at all. Because I don't want to do it for the recognition. I don't want there's a couple different things. So I've thought about doing a show to where I'm just offering my perspective. So I allow people to send me topics or questions or things they just want to hear my what my thought process on or
That'd be
anything.
A good little
Right. But the only problem was that is I'm not good talking to the camera just one-on-one.
Yeah.
When like talking to somebody, I'm great. But if it's just me and a camera, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have to practice that. So I felt like in the meantime, maybe I could just start like a separate Instagram page that's like nobody knows it's me.
Yeah.
And then just start putting quotes up there and just get my shit off pretty much. Just something to kind of unload.
You know the guy Respectfully Justin?
Yeah.
He kind of, that's how he grew his brand, is just would do quotes.
Yeah, but I would never do the shit he does.
Yeah.
ever. Because
Too much.
yeah, because it's just clickbaitish.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I don't want to say that's easy, but even with my podcast, it's like I always try to stay like morally grounded.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what he did. I mean, it's funny. I read him, I laugh at
Yeah.
him, but I would never do something like that.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of idea though. You know what I mean?
That's fire, man. That's fire. I've been speaking of that like blog type of shit. That's where I kind of been focusing it on, like my trying to get revenue streams and stuff. I've been writing blogs and stuff. I've been hiring people to write blogs and post it on my my website, the Misguided. Where I'm working on a book. And I'm trying to get a lot of writing because I noticed, man, writing ain't going around. It's not going anywhere. Like, it's actually people just they pull up their phone and they see it. And so I really want to tap into that type of stuff. So that's good you mentioned that.
That's fire, bro. Sure. So what else you got going as far as coming up? Specifically, you got any big guests or anything coming on the Misguided anytime soon? I know you said you're trying to do some stuff with Ali, but
oh yeah, right now I'm just working on some new content. Just to spice it up a little bit. Most of my content is just me at home sitting in front of the computer, and I do Zooms because I didn't want to limit myself. Like, the in-person is fire, but what if the person's in New York, right? Yep. So like, it's like, that's hard. And so now I'm trying to get those in-person interviews, and I'm really trying to go to someone's business and go in the business, get a tour of the place, their day-to-day life, talk numbers. People want to know numbers. They want to know how much expenses. They want to know how much profit, net profit, right? Not just gross, right? And so I want to get into all of that.
We could possibly put some stuff together for my nonprofit because I'm actually, I'll tell you after, but my nonprofit is going to have something similar to that.
Okay, yeah.
Where I'm going to be doing chapters on like business owners and the businesses in the city of Oakland. So the nonprofit is called The Town.
Okay.
It's going to be a resource center for the city of Oakland. So it's going to have different tabs, and each tab it'll have a sports tab for like all youth sports tied to Oakland. So if you want to sign your daughter up for gymnastics or something, it'll show you where to go.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's fire. So it's literally like a resource.
A resource center, but it'll be on a website.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to do with the Misguided, but like a business center. So I want to provide the resources.
And I was going to say that earlier. My initial reason for getting a studio was to do that. I have a whole business plan for it where I want to have a one-stop shop for all creatives. So it's like literally you can come in and record music, you can record podcasts, you can rent out a room for if you do makeup, if you get massages, like whatever your service.
We finna just collab and do the Misguided Town. I got you. Save some costs.
Right. But yeah, so that's dope. That's why it's like I love the way the universe works when it aligns me with people with like-minded missions, bro. And I feel like working together, we can be so much more powerful.
That's what and that's what you don't get in the music industry, which is why I haven't tried to really be a rapper, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of why.
You can keep going.
That's kind of why I not gave up that dream, but that's kind of why I put it on the back burner and I just do music for myself, right? It's because people in the music industry don't work like that, man. It's especially out here in the Bay Area, they don't want to work together, like, and so yeah, man, I really believe in that, like working together and whether we could work together and I don't need anything,
right?
You feel me?
Right.
Like those type of people are the people I want to be around.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, bro. That's dope though. So yeah, man, what else you got for us before we sign this thing out, man? This was a dope conversation. I got to get you back, man. I feel like me and you could talk about so many things, bro. Oh, before we go, talk to me about your music. I know it's not like a main priority right now, but just how'd you get into music?
Yeah, I always been into music. I heard Nelly Air Force Ones back in the day, and that was like my first remix. Obviously loved music before that, but yeah, I was just like really obsessed with that song, and so I was like, let me.
That early, huh?
Yeah.
How old were you at the time? You remember?
5.
Wow.
5.
So you've been passionate about music since then?
Yeah, man. Bow Wow was huge because we're like damn near the same age. So I used to like copy everything Bow Wow did because in my head he was like Mike. So he played basketball and he rapped. So I was like, that's what I want to do, like, right. And so remember that song I Love Basketball or the song he did for Like Mike. It was like, we love. Yeah. So I did a remix of that and Air Force. And then I performed it in my living room in front of my stepmom.
What?
I was living in Antioch. And so.
That's fire.
Yeah, man. That's kind of like when I got into music, and then just always did. Always did music since then. Wrote and stuff. And just like, it's hard to get people to support you up front, right? until you're already at a point where they're like, oh man, I knew him, right? Because they know you as Juwan plays basketball. You don't do music.
Right.
You feel me? Juwan had long hair. He don't do music. Juwan does business now. He don't do music.
Right.
And so I was just like, I was broke, and I didn't want to be a broke rapper. Like, that's not, like, I love it, but now it becomes a job. And then I had my kids, and that's kind of when it was like, all right, we need to focus on making sure they're okay. I can't sleep in the car and go risk my life to do shows at 11 p.m. at night, right? And so I was just like, all right, we got to change something. And that's when kind of like I started really focusing in on businesses and building my, Turo, Airbnb, investing, stocks, all that stuff. I was like, I got to focus, dial in. And then like, I still like music though. Let me do it. That's just gonna be my escape. That's those, instead of me going and partying out Friday night, I'm taking a couple shots at the crib, not shots, but I'm drinking, and writing music and recording, and that's my time.
So you're into all those investments that you just mentioned?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's fire.
That's kind of how I started like the Misguided podcast, because I had so many businesses going on and was like, man, it's just hard. I'm juggling one. Here goes a mistake. Like today, man, on my way here, one of my Airbnb guests just hit me up and was like, yo, the TV is broke. Send me a photo, and it was broke. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm walking over here. I'm like calling contractors, trying to, hey, what time can you get there? I got someone checking in like an hour.
Wow.
So shit like that, deal with every day, but people just see what's on camera. They see the TikTok videos. They see, the cars, how many cars you got. And it's like, yo, there's a lot of shit that goes into this, and y'all need to understand it.
And that's what anything that's worth doing, in my opinion. It takes a lot, man. Everybody thinks the road is gonna be easy, and people don't understand how much you have to. Like, even myself, you see my equipment. Like, I've put so much money into this before.
Bro, looking at this, I already know how much. I know the money because I know I've researched it.
Exactly, yeah, bro. But I look at it as an investment, like you said, though, bro. It's like, how can I set my kids up for something that, they don't have to work, and then it's like, how do I take everything I'm passionate about and make that, make that pay me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I remember I put that on Twitter, and this girl was like, oh, this is capitalism at its finest, and blah, blah, blah. And I respected her opinion, but like I told her, it's like, you know what? I didn't create the world that we live in. Why do I have to, why is it that the activists and the black people are always expected to do shit for free? But then you have people like the royal family who just are born rich just because of their name.
Bro, we really could talk.
Like you'll have Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's family worth nothing.
Yeah. But
they've done so much, but it was always for free. I'm not going to be that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love my people, black people, for sure, 100%. Yeah. I refuse. I'm going to make it in this shit.
Hey, man, this is random, but how you feel about when your friends ask you for free shit?
I feel disrespected.
Okay, I'm glad you say that.
Because it's not, what my mentor told me, it's not about, because this is a good conversation, because I used to always feel bad, like, oh, I don't mind doing this to help people, I don't mind that, but it's like, my mentor told me, it's like, Justin, it's not about you charging for the service, it's about your time. You could be using that time to be doing something else. So the time is just think of it like that. And since then, my prices went up.
Double.
Yeah, for real though, because it's like, I'm passionate about my craft. You feel me? I don't just cut this shit on and interview and ask.
Bro, you spend literally all day here.
Exactly, bro. And then on top of that, it's like when I'm not here, I'm watching other interviews. I'm watching myself. I'm trying to get better. That's why I took a break from interviewing for so long. Because I'm like, I'm doing too much. I'm doing taboo. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's like, I got to get back into my craft, because I did an interview and I didn't feel good about it for the first time. And I was like, fuck, bro.
Why? Because
it just didn't feel like, I don't script anything. So everything is just like conversation. I felt like I wasn't as quick-witted. I wasn't like, I'm critical of myself. So I wasn't on my square. And it was because I took a break and then tried to jump back into it. But it's like, nah, I got to it's like not going to the gym in 3 months and then trying to go hoop. It's like, your jumper just ain't going to feel, the ball ain't going to feel the same.
It really doesn't.
And that's kind of what I was going through. So it's like, okay, you know what? Let me lock in. Let me get in the dojo and just figure this shit out. And it's like, my last few interviews have been doing amazing. And I think it's because of that.
Yeah, you got remotivated.
You feel me? Exactly. And I
slapped back to place.
And that's a big thing for entrepreneurship. Is like, you have to be able to check yourself when it comes to shit like that. Like, you got to be able to do it before somebody else does. Otherwise, it can become too late.
Facts, man. Yeah, and you mentioned something about the pricing that I thought was really good, like how you doubled your prices and how it's about time.
Right.
Like when you're an entrepreneur and business owner, like your time is very important.
It's
right?
everything.
And because I have so many different businesses, one of my businesses is being a notary, which is like one of my favorite businesses. Like
I see you tweet about it all the
notary
time,
company,
yeah.
bro. Like the time I spend to do it for the amount of returns is like, whoa.
I need to talk to you about that, because
Like-
I have time, and I'll get into that.
Bro, you could
shit.
do one like between interviews.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, so like, and I'll get those customers that are like, wait, this was $150? You've been here for 15 minutes. Like, yeah. And you also took time away from my son.
Right.
And you also took time away from the Misguided podcast. You want me to go into more detail? What about gas? It's $7 a gallon. All right. Like, what about like all that stuff? Yeah, I was here for 15 minutes, but I've spent time studying to practice to be here for 15 minutes, because you don't know what the hell's on that document.
Facts.
You don't know how to complete it correctly.
Facts.
Right. So
That's real shit.
you're paying me for my experience. You're paying me for my time. You're not paying me just because I was here for.
Facts.
To
That's
complete
real
it.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's real, man. So anything else before we get out of here, man? I know you got things to do, and so do I, man. This was dope, though. I got to get you back, bro, honestly, because like I said, the next one I want to do something where we kind of put our heads together. Maybe we could jump on Zoom and then, or meet up, go have some lunch or something, and we'll just come up with a bunch of different topics, and me and you can talk about, and you can you can use the footage. We can both use the footage. I think that'll be dope, bro.
Yeah, I've been, I've been trying to work with other people, but like I said, like we talked about, working with other people, it's just they're tunnel vision. And so once you realize that, all right, they don't want to spend time doing other stuff, then I kind of just back out, and I don't want to be like pressuring.
Right,
So
right.
if you're willing, I would
sure,
love to do something like that and kind of see how we can grow. Maybe we could get a building and we split the rooms.
Exactly,
and shit. Like,
bro.
that's fire, bro.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
bro.
so and I really respect like how you really stay true and true to Oakland.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, bro,
right. I
like
appreciate that.
every time I think of Oakland or I see like your videos, I'm just like, bro, he's like getting these underground Oakland people. Like, you had what's the Hook bro name?
Hook Mitchell.
Yeah, like that
was
blew
big,
me
bro.
away.
That was big for me.
I was like,
You know what's crazy? A funny story about that. I was trying to get that interview for 2 years, bro.
What?
For 2 years, and we would schedule it. He wouldn't show. I would be there waiting. He wouldn't show. I would be there waiting. He wouldn't show. Like 4 or 5 times.
did he say why?
I didn't even ask.
You didn't
I didn't care. I don't.
Just
I
like,
don't
I need
care.
him to show up.
all my because I went every time, because my only thing was once I get him here.
Oh, it's going. Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And then, but see, the reason why, and this is another thing with my podcast, is I don't really take shit personal when I ask people to come on here and they either curve me or, give me some bullshit or whatever, or they might have a legit reason. But with Hook, me waiting made it better, because the rumor of him dying happened after the fact. Like, that happened in the midst of me waiting. I remember getting a call. It was like Christmas. And they called me, like, it was on Twitter, Hook died. I called my dad, like, no. Mm-hmm. Like, because I didn't already talk to him 4 or 5 times. Like, we've already tried to, and I'm like, I have to get this interview.
Yeah.
So then the Warriors did, this is when I was still coaching at Mac. So the Warriors did the floor for us at Mac. Mm-hmm. And they put people's names on the floor, and Hook was one of them. So I did the interview at Mac in the gym, in the brand new gym. I thought he knew his name was on the floor. He walked in, never even knew his name was on the floor.
Get out.
Swear to God. So if I would have knew that, I would have filmed him walking in and filmed his reaction, but I thought he knew. So I was like, oh, you want to see your name? He's like, what you mean? I'm like, your name is on the floor. He's like, hell no. Swear to God. And I'm like, bro, look. He took his phone out. He said, this is the first picture I've ever taken on my phone. And he took a picture of the floor.
Wow.
And he cried like 4 or 5 times.
I was just about to say,
interview.
did he cry? I would have
He cried even in the interview. He cried.
I didn't. I got.
It was dope. But even like I had people from the news reaching out to me about that interview. Yeah, all kind of shit. That's how I met Marcus Thompson. He's a big time writer for The Athletic. He's a big time.
Big time.
He has like 100,000 followers. He actually was a guest on my podcast too. From Oakland, graduated from Tech, grew up in Serenity Park.
What is he older?
He's older. Yeah, he's older than us. Yeah. He actually he was on my podcast. I forget which episode, but it was a fire ass conversation.
I'm about to go back in because
fire ass conversation, because he's a journalist. He's like, I came from here. This is kind of how I got into it, and he's fucking successful.
See, I like that, man, because like you really stay true to like, the culture, and you're trying to really grow the city of Oakland. And
well, the purpose of it is to motivate my community. Again, even with the town, it's like, how do I don't have the money to make a difference yet.
But you're networking with people who might put you in the right places, and that's the key.
And that's what's gonna happen. And then, like I said, I'm all about just being collaborative. Like, whatever we can do us coming together is more impactful, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I agree. Coming together and taking less whatever profit, whatever.
Right.
Like obviously you said, no, I want to get paid for my shit.
Right.
Facts. Because you got kids, I got kids, right?
But it's easier for me to split money with you when I have money coming from 8 other places.
That's why I be telling them, like, that's why I didn't focus just like on music, or I didn't focus on one thing. Like, no, I got businesses, because here's my plan is to have the businesses that I've created go on autopilot and just get me and my family income. Now I can really take risk on building the Misguided for no money.
You know what else? You know what I think you'll be great, bro? So Lisa and I, and you'll meet her soon. We started this podcast seminar that we've been doing at Juvenile Hall.
Oh shit!
So we taught a 6-week course at the Alameda County Juvenile Hall on 150th. Went amazing, bro. The kids they actually renewed us, so it's going to be a continual thing. I just locked in a contract with the San Mateo County Juvenile Hall as well. So I'm trying to get we're trying to get into the school districts. We're trying to get into all the different county juvenile halls. So I'll reach out to you once.
Please, because I've been trying to get into the school district for a while to teach financial literacy and business. I just secured my first one.
That's what's up,
for next
bro.
week, bro.
Congrats.
It took 2 years.
Yeah.
They don't want. I offered to give them free books, and I literally got emails from teachers saying, "Nah, we good."
Wow.
Like free.
You know,
books.
I bet you they don't even understand the importance of it though.
From other teachers, I've heard that they're very strict. The school district's very strict on what they allow in. And I was like, okay, well, I don't even have to give you the book, but I know you allow the mayor to come and talk in, right? Or you allow some bullshit police officer to come in for whatever. So why you can't have a business owner who has multiple businesses who could come in and teach these kids about business?
That's facts, bro.
And so I secured my first one. Very proud.
Up,
I go next Wednesday. Thank you.
But yeah, man, we could, like I said, we could talk all day, man. we got to do it again. But that's a wrap, man. So go ahead and shout your stuff out, and then we can sign this out.
Yeah. You can follow me on all social platforms at Juwan Rohan Music. Definitely tap into the Misguided Podcast on all social platforms. www.themisguidedpodcast.com. Plenty of free resources and just a lot of wealth and knowledge. My YouTube's growing, man. I took some of your advice back in the day.
What was that?
You just was like the way editing videos and clips and stuff. So, yeah,
That's dope, bro.
I'm really focused on the YouTube Shorts. Is fire.
Yeah. Like I said, my social media post that shit now.
Yeah.
It's too much, bro. It's hard to keep up with that shit.
Facts.
Well, man, that's a wrap, bro. I appreciate you coming down, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yep.